Hey, I want to show you something interesting. So I was working with Claude to generate a landing page for one of my projects. It is a log tracing application where it's just going to trace the logs for you, right? So that you could monitor what exactly is happening to your project. And when it created the landing page, I think on the right side over here, it was some placeholder image, or I guess this was left blank, something like that. And I wanted an image that I could use in my project. Now I'll show you something interesting. So when I started working, when I gave the instruction for the image on the right, I thought I will create SVG, right? Because, it's easier for me to integrate rather than PNG. So for the image on the right, create an SVG that shows log analytics. So here it created an SVG, fine. I added this to my code here. I refreshed the page. It was not looking that good, okay? Then I was like, okay, started giving instructions and I show bar charts and logs below in the SVG, and it started doing that, right? And again, like as you can see here, this is too crowded here, and this is the kind of image that I wanted, because for log tracing mostly you have the bar charts which shows the frequency of the logs that has happened in that time duration, and then you have the recent logs which are listed below, right? And then yeah, like again, because this was crowded, my next instruction was, okay, add more spacing. It added some spacing here, again too crowded. Remove the numbers on the left and only give me 3 logs. It did that too. Okay, pretty good. Remove the recent logs. This title here, it got that removed. And when I added this color, this page was looking too purple, right? There was too much purple around, so I gave another instruction. Use dark gray instead of purple, right? Again, to my liking. Yep. Remove the log analytics dashboard. Again, this section was too crowded when I added that. That was gone. And finally, this too, right? Even this heading at the top. So finally, I got an image that I was able to add to my landing page, right? Which looks pretty decent. At least that's what I feel. But the interesting part was, like, looking back here, because I asked it to generate the image in SVG, it was much easier for me to interact with it. Because SVG, if you think about it, is just code, right? SVG is like, there is a code, there is like stuff to it, right? And it's much easier for Claude to make modifications. And for me, this experience was more like as if I have hired a junior illustrator or a junior designer, because that exactly been my experience. I would hire someone on Upwork or some freelancing site before, and they would be creating the first draft. I would be suggesting changes. They would be making those changes, and finally, I would be adding that to my site, right? That at least that's how the journey went. And here, pretty much that's what I did, right? And I don't need any fancy images here. I just need something that would make my application look good, or would allow me to convey some idea. But if you think about it, if you could start using SVG images, it's much easier for you to instruct, because here I could literally define, hey, remove this section, remove this heading. And compared to SVG, let's say if I was using some AI image gen tool like Stable Diffusion or something, it would not have been possible, right? But here it's much more realistic. I could even play with the words here, right? Hey, change this text to something, and I'm getting something that I could actually use in my application here. So I found that a little bit interesting. Thought I will share this. I hope you guys useful for you folks as well. Thanks.